The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Big news from Jets camp. Robert Saleh has completely changed the Jets strategy to start the season. Aaron Rodgers spilled the beans yesterday. Saleh asked about it earlier today. We'll talk about that and much more. Plus, Jets-Giants joint practice underway. Real-time updates coming your way. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season.
There goes my hero.
Oh,
As he goes.
we bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go. Welcome in, everybody. I'm coming at you live from Circa, Las Vegas, inside my hotel room, where over the next couple of days, we will be broadcasting the show from Circa's Radio Row for their Pro Football Contest weekend. People all around the world are flying in to sign up for Circa's 2 Pro Football Contests. We, the Asmaniacs, will have an entry in the Circa Survivor Contest. If you want more information, if you want your own entry in either of the 2 pro football betting contests with $16 million in guaranteed prizes, make sure you head over to circasports.com. With that said, we'll have plenty of great interviews on the channel tomorrow and on Friday. And of course, we will keep you up to date on everything going on with the New York Jets. They're on the field right now for the start of a joint practice with the Giants. And I think based on what Robert Saleh said this morning, I would be shocked if the Jets play any notable starters in the game on Saturday. Saleh said this morning the Jets will apparently have around 75 plays of action later today. That tells me they are treating this game like it is basically the final tune-up before the regular season, going up against a different team. You're basically ramping up your season in the joint practice scenario rather than take the risk of doing it in a game-like setting. You're basically pushing them today and Friday, and then you're going to rest your team for the actual game Saturday. A 75 play script tells you everything you need to know. And it kind of lends to what we have seen from the Jets strategy-wise this summer. So Aaron Rodgers, speaking yesterday, said something I don't know if we were expecting him to say. This was Rodgers on training camp this year compared to training camp year 1 with the Jets last year.
But I give Robert a lot of credit because he, from the start of the offseason, said this is going to be a tough training camp. And I think it's been a lot of reps for the ones. He told me the other day we were somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 more reps, I think, at this point in camp than last year. And it feels like it, but it's good. I think it's going to allow us to maybe be a little more ready. And we've been fortunate with injuries. You know, we haven't had a ton of injuries so far. So I like it. It's been great. You talk to the older guys, not a lot of complaints from any of those guys. The young guys don't know any better, so it's been good.
So an extra 300 more reps year over year, according to Saleh to Rodgers there. That to me is notable. Now, Saleh's in his 4th year. We all understand the circumstances, right? If he doesn't win, he's out. I think we've seen Robert Saleh take way more ownership of the football team this summer. He obviously has been way more involved with the offense. Anyone who's been at any of the practices can tell you he's basically been almost exclusively at times shadowing the offense. basically been in the huddle if you watch practice in person. Then you look at the comment that CJ Mosley made on the NFL Network a few weeks back, where he jokingly said, Saleh is like a turncoat, how he was all defense, and now Ulbrich is basically running the show there, and Saleh is more intimately involved with the offense. It makes sense, because if you remember, Woody Johnson made some comments at the league meetings months ago that kind of got swept under the radar that Saleh was going to be more involved, and we thought, what does that really mean? Well, we're seeing it. And now you're seeing Saleh's decision to ramp up practices here at training camp. You're seeing a coach who I think recognizes, hey, if I'm going to lose my job, I'm going to do it my way. Like if it doesn't work, it's not going to be because I didn't go down doing it how I wanted to do it in what could be my final year if they don't win. And I think they're going to win. I think they're going to be a good team. I think this team is going to win the AFC East. I think the playoff drought ends this year. I really believe that. But I think you're seeing a head coach evolve here, which I like. If you're Robert Saleh, first 3 years, you haven't had a winning season. He admitted on Barton Hahn the other day, in some respects, he's grateful he has a job right now and gets a chance to turn things around in year 4. A lot of transparency in that interview. I recommend it for those who didn't hear it live. This is a coach that I think is very self-aware now. He's no longer concerned about, the positive messaging and the outside noise. The only thing that matters is wins. And I think Saleh, to his credit, recognizes that the only thing that truly does matter is this team winning. So I like this, especially because you heard Aaron there talk about how he's on board. And if Aaron's on board, that's the key, right? Because he's your leader. So Saleh, after Aaron said what he said yesterday, spoke, as I mentioned this morning. This was Robert Saleh on the revised practice plan, the more intensity from the Jets this summer.
They're smart. The players know, because you could also be on a team that's not doing much, and it could be a lot of frustration for players, where they know they need more. And there's balancing that. You're not trying to drive them into the dirt where you're exposing them to injury risk, but at the same time, they've got to get ready. And I think the veterans who know what it used to feel like are really appreciating this, because it's reconnecting them to them. It's reconnecting them to how they used to prepare. And the younger guys, they really don't know the difference. They're here, but they're competitors. They're always going to answer the bell, and so like I said, they've responded awesome, and they're getting affirmations, if you will, with every time they step on the field.
This is what you want. Players being on board and the Jets getting ready for the upcoming season. Now, you could see the strategy. We're going to have 3 joint practices. That's going to serve as our preseason for the starters, because we're not playing starters in any games. Once again, I would be shocked if any starter plays Saturday. Certainly, I don't think Rodgers is going to play. They have a 75-play workload against the Giants in this joint practice. They rested their guys yesterday to basically get ready for today and a little bit of tomorrow before the game Saturday. So the strategy is, hey, we're going to have intense reps all summer. We're going to give you 3 joint practices, and we're not going to play our starters in the games. And I've had coaches tell me before they find the joint practice to be more beneficial than the actual preseason games, because you could script the scenarios you want. There's no guarantee you get a 2-minute drill in a preseason game. There's no guarantee you get a red zone opportunity in a preseason game. You can guarantee it in practice. So the Jets, who have never had 3 joint practices under Saleh, had 3 this summer, including the one today, their final one. And through the first 2 weeks, they haven't played any of their starters. So that tells me that I wouldn't expect anyone to play on Saturday of note. But once again, I am on board with this approach from the head coach. Do it your way. You're in your final year if you don't win. Go down doing it the way you need to do it. If you think this was necessary, then I'm on board. And I think Rodgers being on board is key once again. Right? There was like these bogus insinuations that those two aren't on the same page. And but Saleh's got to win, because until proven otherwise, he's 18-33 as a head coach. Not all his fault. Now they got to win. But the way I look at it is, if you're Robert Saleh, the only thing that matters is winning, and I think it's imperative for this team to get off to a fast start. right? If you're making these drastic changes to the practice schedule in the summer, the other way we're going to know if it was worth it is if the Jets get off to a good start. Obviously, week one is a tough challenge. You're playing maybe the best team in the NFC in their building. First game back for Aaron. But you know what? Niners have a lot of problems right now. Their offensive line, not whole. Trent Williams, still not there. Brandon Ayuk, still not signed. Some of their defensive players. Look at the injury report for the Niners. Start fast week one. It's week one. Jets beat the Bills with Zach Wilson last year. They could go into San Fran and win. Then week two, week three, week four, look at the quarterbacks that you're playing. Week five, look at the quarterbacks that you're playing. We're talking about Will Levis, Jacoby Brissett, or Drake May, Sam Darnold, Bo Nix. I pray it's Zach Wilson. No chance of that happening. But you get the point. Once again, it's Levis, it's Brissett or May, it's Bo Nix, and it's Darnold in London. Go get it done. So whatever they got to do to get off to a good start, that's the right approach for this football team. And we'll find out if it's going to work or not, because either it does or it doesn't. I mean, there's no gray area here. I also think that if Robert Saleh does not get off to a good start, his job is definitely in jeopardy. I don't know if the Jets would fire him in season. It's never happened under the Johnsons. They fired a coach in season. But I'll tell you what, this is a very unique year for the Jets. Conventional team building and strategy goes out the window when you have Aaron Rodgers at quarterback and you have this finite amount of time to win. So I think the Jets will get off to a good start. I think the schedule, while they do play a lot of games early, right? It's 3 games and I think 11 days to start. To me, that's why you're having the approach you're having here this summer. That's another reason why. Because you got to start fast, because look at the amount of games you play. You play Monday night, short week, Sunday, and then you play Thursday. Got to be ready to go. So all I'm going to say is this. I'm on board with what they're doing. I'm on board with not playing any of the starters on Saturday based on how they're handling these joint practices, the 75 plays that are getting underway right now. But it doesn't mean a thing if they don't start fast. This team's got to be, in my opinion, 4-1 going into that Bills game on Monday night, where they're going to be wearing the throwbacks. The Pennington era, the Sanchez era jerseys. Crazy calling those a throwback. But that, to me, is the whole key. Can you start fast? And the schedule allows them to get off to a good start and build confidence. And that's really the thing. Stack the wins early. This team will start to believe. Comments, questions, super chats always cut the line. I'm on the road, obviously, if you can't tell. I'm live from my hotel room here in Vegas. I just landed a little while ago. Excited to be out here for contest weekend the next couple of days. We'll be live at the Radio Row and the Convention Center here at Circa starting tomorrow. So we're going to have a bunch of big-name guests that will appear on the show. Some guests you guys are familiar with as well. Cole Thompson, Jeff Parles, set to join us. So that will be a lot of fun. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you're a Jet fan or just a football fan, as we'll be talking all things NFL and everything going on with the league over the next couple of days. So once again, thanks to Circa for having me out here. They've been a great partner. For all the info about Circa's Pro Football Contest, make sure you guys head over to circasports.com. I have pinned the Gusbuster hotline in the comment section. We'll update you live on practice as plays come in. I also want to share that Yalco later this afternoon, probably around 4:30, 5 p.m. Eastern time. He is at the joint practice right now, so he will give us a live report later on with some of his takeaways from what stood out. So we'll keep you posted on that. So I appreciate everyone for their support. Also, hopefully my audio is okay. Hotel internet is holding up, so hopefully we can get through the show. But I'm not seeing complaints about the audio, so that is a good sign. All right, first super chat here is from the Small Health Count. It says, Jake, will you be live for Jets Giants at Circa? So I booked my flight originally. I booked it to be back in time to go to the Jet Giant game at night on Saturday because I figured Rodgers would play like what happened last year. Well, I booked this flight months ago. Now I don't think Rodgers or anyone is going to play on Saturday. So I will be in New York. We'll be live right after the game for the post-game show, but I will not be watching Jets-Giants for the second year in a row at Circa. I will be back in New York by then. I have a flight in the morning on Saturday. Lane Train is in the house. He starts us off. He says, how do you feel about the Jets? Well, Lane, I'll tell you what. I feel great about the Jets. Hopefully you feel good about yourself. I know your coffee mug arrived yesterday for you to consume. So hopefully the coffee tastes oh so sweet in your Jake Asman coffee mug, which everyone can get one by heading over to jakeasman.com. We are seeking channel members right now. We have Edgemos to add for the people. So if you want to become an Asmaniac, please hit the join button. And to the 205 of you who are watching live right now, smash that like button and help support the channel that way. All right, Ghostbuster Hotline is open. Let's get to some of your calls right now. Let's go to Kyle Clifton, who starts us off today. Kyle, what's going on?
Jay, coming back so early seems like a missed opportunity. You could have watched Florida State and Georgia Tech Saturday morning. Have some Guinnesses when they're coming to you from London, from Dublin.
I did it last year when Notre Dame played Navy last year. But yeah, I mean, I love Vegas, but I got things to do, Kyle. I got to get back to New York.
I understand. Business is business. Listen, so yeah, I'm rooting for Saleh. Like, even as though I've been frustrated with some of his stuff in game, I do recognize that he hasn't had a quarterback. I do know that he knows defense. I think he's a likable coach, someone you want to pull for. But this is definitely it. Like, it's put up a shut up time, and if he wants to do things his way and the players are brought into it, I'm 1,000% behind it. Now, as you know, I feel a little bit differently about Joe Douglas. I think that he's really got this team in terms of talent-wise to a level that it hadn't been probably even under Rex. Like, we didn't have this much talent. We had scheme, we had defensive talent, but across the board, there's unbelievable talent on this team, special teams, defense, and offense. So I'm willing to give JD a little bit more rope. In fact, I'm a little frustrated with the Johnsons, right? Because, as you said, we probably should be extending Michael Carter. I think that maybe they're handcuffing us because they don't want to do anything beyond this year. And if they were to extend him and perhaps Douglas, it would send a clear message to like Reddick's camp. And I really think Joe Douglas deserves to be here going forward. I'll shut up and let you talk.
Kyle, I appreciate it. Look, I mean, I've made it clear. I think Joe Douglas has put together a really good team. That doesn't excuse the fact that the reason why this team has not made the playoffs the last 2 years is because of his failures at the quarterback, not because of the head coach. Head coach is not perfect. I think he's getting better. But I think they're attached to the hip. He hired Saleh. Right? Like, and this team should be pretty good. Look how many top draft picks Joe Douglas has had. Joe Douglas has been here a long time, man. What GM gets this many years without winning? He's 29 games under 500. They should be good by now. He's had plenty of time to build this team. Everyone on this team besides Mosley and Quinnen are Joe Douglas decisions. That's it. So they got to win. I'm not separating Saleh from Douglas. To me, barring, very unique circumstances, to me, they're attached at the hip together. That's how I view it. And I think the unique circumstance would be, this team is somehow, let's say they're like 12-5 AFC's champions. They lose in the first round, and it's clear coaching held them back or something. Then it's like, well, look at the team. Or there's just obvious mistakes that we could point out with the head coach that are keeping them back. But to me, they're connected. Joe Douglas has done a really good job, I think, this offseason. The moves that he has made have made sense for a team that has a very finite amount of time to win with this Hall of Fame quarterback. That doesn't mean we excuse everything else from last year. Douglas got his redemption seemingly this offseason. Now let's see Robert Saleh get it. Right? Douglas learned from his mistakes. He went out there and he made sure he got a legit backup in Tyrod. He made sure he improved the wide receiver room by signing Mike Williams and drafting Corley and going out there and solidifying the offensive line depth by not just solidifying right tackle with Morgan and making up for that mistake, but bringing in Tyron Smith and then saying, that's not enough. We're still going to take Olu Fashanu. Douglas has redeemed himself, in my opinion. This team is ready to win. Now let's hope the head coach can redeem himself, because although Robert Saleh, I think, has been dealt a crap hand, I'm also not going to sit here and tell you he's a great head coach. He's got to win more games. I think he has the makings of someone who can be a good coach. But now we got to see it. NY Cursor writes in, if everyone hit the like button 10 times, think about how good we'll do. Great point. Excellent point. If you want to win this year, Jet fans, NY Cursor is saying you have to subscribe to the Jake Asman channel and like the video. And points. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Questions for me, write it in. We'll bring it up on the screen. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Wednesday so far. Let's get to more of your calls. I spoke to this guy on the phone last night. Little after hours Jet conversation. Hello, Neil. You're up next.
What's up, Jake? I'm back from Mohegan Sun. Pretty good visit. Nothing crazy one way or the other. Glad to see you're in America, adult playland over there, Toys R Us. I call Vegas the adult Toys R Us. That is like Christmas.
You see the view from my hotel room. We got Stadium Swim right down below us.
What a time we had there, man. That was epic. When we were at that pool on the bed and everybody was around, that was just fantastic, man. It's just too bad we didn't have Aaron Rodgers and score a goddamn touchdown. The fact that we went there, Jake, right, and we didn't score a single touchdown. And to add insult to injury, remember Zach was going in for the score. Then they went like this. We were excited. Then we weren't excited. Then they couldn't punch it in from the one, and then they got that penalty.
It was the worst. It was 3 plays. It was the Wilson out of bounds. Then next play we thought Brees scored, and then you had the holding on Uzama, and then of course I forget whatever the play was after that, but they didn't score and they had to settle for a field goal, and it was typical.
That was like so bad. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm seeing the reverse, the 180 degree of what we've seen in training camp so far. And I got to say, Saleh is doing all the right things. He put them hard in camp, which is going to be conducive to them coming out of the gate fast. And one thing not many people are talking about is he has absolutely paid no attention whatsoever to the defense. He even said it today in his presser that he's not going to pay attention to the defense. He's focused solely on the offense, which is the smart way to go, because if your job's on the line, right, Hackett's a little questionable. He's probably a better play caller and smarter than Hackett. And he has to coordinate with Rodgers, and he could be integral in explaining to Rodgers how his defense works. Because let's face it, the defense we're going to face week 1 is really his defense, right, Jake? I mean, how much different is the 49er defense than what he had when he was there? How different is it?
Yeah, there's a lot of carryover there. So, to me, it just comes down to which team is ready to roll when the lights come on, and how the Jets have approached training camp. It's almost like they understand they got 3 games in 11 days to start. They got to start fast.
And I love the continued negative sentiment on the radio. Chris Canty again. They're all bashing Rodgers. Why? Because he's not going to play a few snaps in the preseason. Oh, he hasn't played in 2 years. God damn. Bart Scott said one really cool thing. I heard it when I was coming back and picking up my lunch. He said, Chris Canty, he goes, I don't understand the takes he has on the Jets. It's just, on Aaron Rodgers. He goes, I guess it's just like his thing. He really bashed Chris Canty. And I was so happy he did it, because it looks like he's totally in the bag. You can't say just because a guy is not going to expose himself to getting hit, that's in the league 20 years. I mean, are you kidding me? He missed 1 season, okay? It's not like he missed 2 or 3 seasons, number 1. 2, he knows the system. It's his system. It's not like he needs to go out there. I mean, if he gets 400 snaps and he gets all the continuity he needs. I mean, look, one thing we have to remember is if we go back to these Jet-Giant games over the years, they're pretty fierce games. You know, these guys are not coming out there to play tiddlywinks. They want to hurt us. We want to hurt them. You remember who was the guy that we took out for the season, the defensive back on the Giants that ran back kicks? We knocked him out for the season way back when. What the hell was his name? God. There was
Jason
a lot.
Sehorn? Did he get hurt?
Yes, Sehorn. We knocked him out for the season on a kickoff return when we were playing him in a Jet-Giant preseason game.
Chad got hurt in the Jet-Giant preseason game. Sanchez got hurt behind the backup O line.
There's a list this long of guys that get injured in these games. So why the hell in God's green earth would we throw Aaron Rodgers out there? Could you imagine if we played Aaron Rodgers and that guy 55, that guy wants to kill him because he said, "Who are you?" You know, the kid from last year, remember? He gave Rodgers a little push and Rodgers was in the guy's face. Rodgers is going to incite guys. These guys, the Giants, you got to realize something right now. They are so jealous of us, Jake. We have New York by the gonads right now. This is our city. This is our team. I don't want to see more Yankee caps on your head. From now on, it's Jets all the way. Let's go. Enough. This is it,
Jake, I've made all 13 of my points. Before you cut me off again, I'm going to throw myself out this goddamn window.
Neil bringing the energy, baby. Fresh off a trip to Mohegan Sun. He's feeling it. Neil put $50,000 on the Jets to win the Super Bowl. He's ready to roll. No, to Neil's point, I understand the intensity of the Giant game being more than other preseason games, but I truly think if Aaron Rodgers said to Robert Saleh, "Hey, I really want to play. I need this," I think Saleh would play him. I think Aaron's good with not playing. He has basically crapped all over the idea of the preseason meaning anything for 2 weeks straight now. Saleh did say that he's already made a decision. He just is not going to tell the media because he hasn't told his players yet. But I think you could read between the lines. They got 75 plays they're going to be trying to run today in this joint practice with the Giants. They're not playing their starters if they're running that many plays. Today is truly the preseason tune-up. So we will rely on Andrew Fialco's analysis on the second show in the 4:30 or 5 p.m. start time range to break that down. And Nate is at practice tweeting out plays too. So today's really the tune-up day for the Jets, not Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button. We get to more of your calls in a moment. But first, a super chat will be read because M. King writes in, "This year's camp seems more productive. I think it's the addition of the professional vest, no hard knocks, and growth by Saleh. Hit the like button." I think the professional veterans, if that's what you mean, professional vets, I think that's what that is. I think you're right. I think Tyron Smith, Morgan Moses, their presence helps the O-line room. I think Sauce, if you watched One Jets Drive last night, you know what the big takeaway is? Sauce Gardner's going to have that C on the chest this year. Garrett should as well. But you saw Sauce in a moment where the defense wasn't playing up to their standard against the Panthers, bring the whole defensive over, and it was Sauce giving the speech to the team to get him going. Sauce and Garrett are becoming captains on this team. So, look, I think last year was a learning experience for Saleh and their whole team. And they're better prepared now. I think especially with the ramp-up period being what it is because of the fact they play 3 games in 11 days to start the season. Greg Gagne, he writes in, nothing. He just wants to say, I've been a channel member for 3 months. Oh, thank you, Greg. No one has become a channel member during this show. If you want to become an Asmaniac, it is easy. You hit the join button and you get access to all the emojis. You get bonus shows. You get priority response in the comments and much more. Check it out. Become an Asmaniac. Plus, you help support the show, man. Couldn't do it without you. All right, more of your calls right now as we keep it rolling here. Live from Las Vegas ahead of contest weekend at Circa Resort and Casino. We say hello to this guy.
The only thing better than all them shoes is Joey D, 'cause he totally rules. Jake, my brother, I'm high as a kite. I love everybody. Damn, this show is crazy.
Jake, my brother. You know, I got my
Wow, is that
little-
still guest?
this is my little Lola. Lola, do it. Come on, you just did it 3 times. She just did the Jets chant 3 times. You want the chocolate coin? Go ahead. Do it. Oh, she's having stage fright.
Jets,
Jets,
Lola, come on.
Jets. She's shy. She's too shy. Dude, you were watching me while Neil was spitting facts. She was doing it. I'm telling you, she was doing it. She's just stage fright. But she's got a little cute dress on. You know, we got a lot of Jets gear. I gotta get you got any Jake? You got any Asmaniac dresses I can purchase for her?
We'll have to add that to the merch store.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to say, very FOMO is kicking in with you being in Vegas, man. I want to be there with you, brother. But you were just bringing up when we were at the Raiders game and we saw 3 different touchdowns and we still didn't score one.
Nope, not one.
And I just wanted to say, very excited for today's practice. And the season's coming. It's so close. You mentioned all those interviews with Boom and Gio and that Saleh was on, and even Rodgers. It was so informative, especially that Saleh one. I really do feel like he's putting it all on the line. You nailed that, man. I see you. So I'll let you go. Though. She was very excited to do the chance. So I wanted to call in while I had her before we go pick up my other 2 boneheads. So JETS, come here, one more chance. One more chance. Do it. She wanted to also say we've been singing the Bobby Bunch consistently. It's a story about a man named Bobby who will elevate his legs after the show.
If you want the Bobby Bunch, I got you.
Here's the story of a man named Bobby who will elevate his leg after the show. Sometimes Jake or Gator, they might join him.
But my friend Addison, he's always there.
Here's the story of a man named Bobby. He's the host of my favorite YouTube shows. My boss Craig and Nick, they make me happy. But Bobby is my only love.
And then one day when the show got so amazing, like a Zoom meeting with drunks and drugged out whores, somehow this group would somehow form a family. And that's the way we all became the Bobby Bunch. The Bobby Bunch. The Bobby Bunch. That's the way we became the Bobby Bunch. And now it's Bobby Big Night.
Oh, wow. That's a nice one. I wanted to say hello to Lola.
Hello, Bobby.
I wanted to say hello to
Too
Lola.
late.
Well, yeah, I know.
Well,
Because you're on the West Coast, right? It's too late.
I'm on the West Coast.
Yeah, how did you get there so fast? When speed jet?
I jogged there.
No, I know you went by plane, but how fast did you go? What time did you leave this morning?
I ran.
No, you did not run. What time do you leave?
I'm very fast, Bobby.
What time do you leave for the plane?
I didn't take a plane.
Yes, you did.
No.
How do you get there then? You took a plane.
Flew.
Yeah, how long did it take?
Flew. I didn't take a plane.
Ugh.
I mean, I flew there. I have wings.
Like
this.
Go again. I was calling in after my doctor's appointment at the Wood Clinic. All right, so you have a
How did
great
that go?
time at the Circa. I hope you win this season. I hope you don't come in last place so you don't have to wear Patriots. Then again, that was embarrassing for you,
This
right?
is not fantasy. This is a football betting.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I need to walk more to survive unless Jake is going live. Gotta elevate my leg on Bobby.
The internet is a little rough with some of the calls here. There's like a major delay. Bonesy's audio is trash because he's using an Android. All of you people that have Androids, why do you do it to yourself? Seriously, the worst. Well, yeah, I mean, Bobby doesn't seem to understand that I flew here. I have wings. Caw. All right, more of your super chats, more of your calls if you want in on the conversation. But, ladies and gentlemen, we asked for channel members. And who stepped up to the plate? Ladies and gentlemen, we salute M. King for coming through for the people.
Money, 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 money.
Ryan Kaza, Antonio Ambrosio, Cantu Renige, Dyke Tyson, and Javid G are the first 5 members of today's program. More super chats, open phone lines if you want in on the conversation. This one is from William Sprague, who checks in, and he says, how many memberships is Sprague to donate for every Jets regular season touchdown this year? William, I forget what you said. Did you say you were doing 5 for every touchdown or 10? I'll tell you what. I expect a lot of touchdowns this year, finally. Let's go. TriStar Jet says, glad to see you made it okay. Stay safe out there, bro. Go Jets. TriStar, excited to be in Vegas. Always a fun time. Last time I was here was for the draft when we did our mega cast from here in April. Hit the like button if you're tuning in. We're monitoring practice right now to see what occurs. First tweet I see from Rich Cimini seconds ago. Rodgers excites the crowd with a long completion to Gibson, who beats Holmes on a contested catch in the 7v7 period. Also, Nate parentheses Nate has begun giving us his updates. So we will check in on that as things happen. But first, holy hell, William Sprague helping the Jake Asman Vegas Fund this weekend. How about a 10 spot? A Sprague spree, if you will, from William.
I am the master of the Sprague spree. Take this, Jake, you little bitch.
Yeah, buddy. Here we go. If you hear your name called, you are officially an Asmaniac on YouTube. NY Jets 48, NYJ Pod, Howie from Jets HQ, Carlos Reyes, B. Haas, D. Brown, Ghost Ackley, Sean Mahoney, Tynick. You are all channel members. If you got a membership, pay it forward. Just $5 to pay it forward to your fellow Asmaniac who is watching the show right now. All right, more of your calls as we monitor practice. I'm seeing Garrett Wilson cooking some Giants defenders here. So Jets are off to a good start. Let's keep in mind, it is 7-on-7s where the passing offense should be way ahead of the corners and coverage. There's no pass rush. Really not much to it. It's meant to be structured that way. JT, you're up first in this new segment here. What's up, JT?
Yo, Jake, how you doing, man?
JT, how's MetLife, man? It looks crowded.
It's a great time. We're waiting for the Giants watch party to start here, to be honest. I have a tent set up outside. But, yo, how about when Garrett Wilson puts on that chef hat and starts cooking? I can't wait to see that in the regular season, man. This is going to be such a fun season. I love that Robert Saleh is getting very involved with the offense this year. I feel like that's something that's been missing, and obviously it seems like a neglected part of our team, the offense. So I'm glad that Saleh's finally getting in there. JD made all the moves to make this offense what it could be this season, and I think the possibilities are endless, man. I just want to spread some hype around that.
I do too. I think I think Saleh has grown as a coach. I think we're seeing signs of it. Now, it means nothing if they don't win. We all understand that. But, I think Joe Douglas had a good offseason, atoning for a lot of mistakes. I think Saleh is going about it in a similar style as far as making up for, some of the things that have caused this team issues in the past.
Absolutely, I agree. I agree with your comment that they're tied at the hip. Kind of, it's like a weird situation because we've finally loaded this team up. This team seems loaded and ready to go, and it's just on Saleh now, man. I don't know. I think this offseason, I mean, if it doesn't go well, it depends on everything. But I like the moves that JD has done. I like JD as a GM, so I don't know if they're exactly attached at the hip. I don't know if it exactly comes. It's gonna be what
JT, we were losing you there connection wise. It also could be me too because I'm on hotel Wi-Fi right here, but the calls have been a little choppy the last couple. But I got the crux of your point. To me, they're attached at the hip until there's circumstances that dictate otherwise. Because this team has failed to make the playoffs the last 2 years, not because of Robert Saleh, in my opinion. They've won 7 games with the worst quarterback situation in the league. That's put together by the GM. When Saleh had a viable backup 2 years ago, he went to Mike White, and they would have made the playoffs, but he got hurt. Last year, he really had no viable option. You could say you could have went to Simeon earlier, but you were winning maybe one more game if you did that. You probably win the Falcons game if you started Simeon the whole time. Saleh's not perfect, but let's give him a chance with competent quarterback play. He's going to get more than that. And Rodgers could have a big year, man. I'm telling you, if he's healthy, he's going to be a top 10 quarterback in this league. Delvis Mateo says, how confident are you with our wide receiver room heading into week 1? Look, if you tell me Mike Williams gets into team drills next week like the Jets expect him to, I think they're more than capable. But Garrett's got to be healthy. I think Garrett Wilson, other than Rodgers, is the most indispensable player on this team. One of our listeners, Dano, put out an interesting Twitter question that got a lot of responses. If you could protect the health of 3 Jets, which ones would you pick? And to me, the first 2 have to be obviously Rodgers is one. But then I think it's Garrett because you're really thin at receiver if you lose him. A lot of unknowns there. And I think you could make a case because of how valuable he is in this offense and how you could ease in Rodgers. I think Brees might be number 3. To me, that decision, I went with Rodgers, Garrett. That was an easy one, too. And then number 3 was between 3 players for me. It was either Brees, who I ultimately went with, Sauce, and Quinnen. Those are the other 2 I was debating. But how confident am I in the wide receiver room? Look, if you tell me Garrett Wilson's healthy, I'm confident. Superstar, period. $125 of you are watching live. Smash that like button if you're tuned in. The big fella with a super chat. Jake, are you meeting up with Lasso? I am, big fella. Also, you have to check out a restaurant called Anno. It's amazing. You will love it. I'll keep that in mind. Big fella, not to be confused with Nick Shine, as someone confused him for at our party on Saturday. King of Dreams is in the house. He writes in, gang. King of Dreams making his presence felt now. How about a 5 spot of gifted memberships, baby? Where are the alarms? Because we need to sound them. Ladies and gentlemen. Gifted. There we go. If you hear your name called, you are officially an Asmaniac. Let me pull it up here. Things are a little delayed, but we will get to it. Here we go. 5 from King of Dreams. Thank you, K&D. AP, Justin Chadwick, Weary, Admiral Mighty Buffoon, and Judge Genna. You guys are all channel members. Congratulations. Let's see. James Napoleon. I've been to 2 games in the last 2 years, Jacksonville and the Chargers, where the Jets didn't score a touchdown. What game do I go to this year? Well, James, I could tell you, I was at both those games too. And to make it worse, I went to the Charger game last year, then flew out to Vegas and watched them in 2 straight games in person, not score an offensive touchdown. So that sucked. Big fella clarifies his restaurant suggestion. He says it's a mono not a nano. I hate YouTube. I appreciate it, big fella. I will look into it. JT has gifted 1 channel membership. JT's membership went to NYR Tim. Thank you, JT, for paying it forward. Appreciate it, everyone. 21 members have been added. Goes a long way towards the show being profitable and being able to do this full time. So I appreciate all the support. We are brought to you today by my friends at Huga House. Get yourself a Huga House hat, 15% off when you use promo code Asman at checkout. Get the hat that Aaron Rodgers always rocks. And if you buy 1 hat with that code, the second hat at Huga House is 30% off. So you can get any of the hats you see on the screen. They actually added a bunch of new ones this summer that I don't have pictured. So get yourself a vintage-inspired hat, 15% off with code Asman at hugahouse.com. The website is linked in the description for this video. All right. Comments, questions, super chats. Let's get a live update now on practice. We'll read you some tweets, and if there's some big plays, we'll show it. What do we got here? Robbie Sabos, who we're reading from. With Rodgers back in there, still 7v7. Giants coverage does a nice job as Rodgers didn't have anywhere to go, at least not initially. Moving right just a bit in the pocket, he unleashes a deep vertical to Xavier Gipson for a 40-plus leaping grab just beyond the corner. Gipson did a nice job with the subtle push-off for sure, but that's a rep where Rodgers didn't want to waste as he knew it was 1v1 the entire time. If Gipson could start making plays on verticals, man, oh man, Tyrod then finds Brownlee a little later for a solid game. By the way, the best beat reporter, so to speak, or just best Jet content creator who's at practice covering these things is Sabo as far as details. Brandon Pockrass writes in, Corley with a great route for a big gain. Nice ball from Martinez, too. Next play is deep ball from Rodgers to Gipson. Great placement. So that was the play we just heard about. Let's see. Aaron Rodgers to Garrett Wilson. Yeah, that was pretty. 7-on-7 going well for the Jet offense. Let's read from Fialco. Rodgers hot to start the day. Unbelievable contested. Yeah, this Gipson catch. The Jets better tweet out later. Or maybe Nate parentheses Nate has it for us. Let's check in with Nate parentheses Nate. Let's see if we have it, and I can screen share the play. Things happening in real time, folks. We call this the magic of YouTube. Stand by. I think we will have this play for everyone. Good. Nate's got a good view of practice. Sitting next to, I believe, Jay Quest today. So as maniacs are gathering to watch Jets football, baby. All right, here it is. We do have the Gipson play that everyone's going crazy over. Let's see if it lives up to the hype. So I'm going to do a screen share here. So watch the screen. All right, as much as you guys love staring at my handsome mug all the time, we're going to watch Aaron Rodgers to Xavier Gipson. Here we go. Oh, it's a bomb. Yeah, crowd going crazy. I know you guys can't hear crowd because it's muted. This is a ball. Xavier Gipson, baby. Yeah. Love it. So they're not doing 11-on-11 yet. Look, 7-on-7s is fun, but it's a passing camp. You know, I care about the 7s. Or the 11s, I should say. Team versus team. We get to the team periods. That's when you care. Here we go. We got a red zone period. New drive, 11-on-11. Rodgers couldn't find an opening. Rush for a couple. Rodgers making plays with his legs now, folks. Here we go. Let's see what we got here from Nate, parentheses Nate. Give it to me, Nathan. Give it to me. watch this again. There you go. Speed kills. All right. Super chat here from Kervin, who writes in. McDonald's spin move is pretty dang good, starting to look unstoppable. Look, the Jets are very confident in his pass rushing ability. He's got to have other moves, got to be better against the run, but there's no reason why he can't do what Bryce Huff did 2 years ago and just be a strictly situational pass rusher and have, let's say 7 or 8 sacks. That is obtainable for this Jets team to do. There's no doubt. Follow at Nate Tape with 2 E's if you want Nate's updates here. He is a diehard Jet fan. He is an Asmaniac, and he has given us live practice footage. Just got to find the thread. Anyway. Let's get to more of your calls right now, shall we? Let's go to DJ Wheels. Hello, DJ.
Hey, what's going on, Jake? Can you hear me?
I hear you.
How are you doing?
Scientist?
No, I do cell phone computer repairs, motherboard, video game repairs. I have my
That's
own
awesome,
shop,
man.
my own cell phone
Well, we
store,
definitely could use you on this channel.
I wish I could be back at Circa. I actually went last year to the trip. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I missed the T Square, but if there's a next one, I'm definitely going.
Have week 1 open is all I'm gonna say. All right.
All right. I was telling my wife we're gonna make it. If it's week 1, we'll be there. We'll definitely be there.
I love it. Appreciate
and
it,
as far as Aaron Rodgers, man, I mean, I know people don't want to see him. I want to see him in preseason. I want to see him like full go. I know if he gets hurt, like people are scared if he gets hurt. But in practice, it's not the same as I know he said preseason is not real football, but at least you could see him move, and you know what I mean. Because in practice, he doesn't get touched. But it is what it is. I mean, they know what they're doing. So, but I'm excited for this season, man.
DJ, I appreciate the call, man. Hopefully I'll see you week 1 at our watch party when it's officially announced. All I'm going to say is it is in the works. But, I mean, look, what I like about what Sal is doing, for those who missed the monologue, is he understands he's got to win. So it's like, if you're going to go down doing it the way you want to do it. So if he's making these changes because he thinks it's good for the team and he's got Rodgers on board with it, which he clearly does, love it. All right, here we go. Let's watch this red zone drive. We showed you the first play. Rodgers took off because he couldn't find anyone open. Nate is giving us the other plays of the drive now. We go to toss the Brees on 2nd down. Looks like they got maybe like 2 yards here. Let's see. Watch it again. Next play on 3rd down now. Rodgers finds Lazard on quick out for 1st and goal from 10. First down, Lazard. Rodgers finds Braylon after maneuvering pocket, would be sacked. Okay, so this would be a sack in a game according to Nate. Let's watch it. Yeah, that'd be a sack. Who got him? Is that Burns? Uh-oh. Jeremy Rucker drops bullet from Rodgers, which would have been a touchdown. So the Jets settled for a field goal on this drive, with Nate saying they would have had a touchdown. Jeremy. You're representing Long Island the wrong way on this one. Just got to catch that. One more time. Going 5 receivers here, though. You guys notice that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Are they empty set here? Yep. Garrett's the isolated one, top right. Actually, no, he's in the slot. Who's top right? Is that Braylon Allen? He's so big. Wow. They use Braylon Allen out of the backfield as a receiver. 2's in now. Tyrod Taylor incomplete to McCutcheon on first down. That should have been a catch. Isaiah Davis plunges up the middle for 5. I like Isaiah Davis, by the way, for what it's worth. I've been impressed by him. Brownlee wins 1-on-1 jump ball in the end zone for a touchdown. Dude, Brownlee, every time they've had a game situation outside of last week, but the joint scrimmage again, or the green and white scrimmage, he scored a touchdown. He scored a touchdown from Peasley in the first preseason game. Brownlee's making this team, I think. Let's watch this touchdown here. How about the crowd today? Packed crowd of Jet fans. I personally gave away, I think, about 10 tickets. So I'm glad they're going to good use. Good ball by Tyrod. Great catch by Brownlee. See, use him in the red zone. He's a big body, man. Love that. Love that. Keep going here. What else we got? Rodgers back in. Hits Lazard immediately. So we're doing another red zone period here, folks. Here we go. Oh, first play touchdown. Yeah. All right, let's watch it. First play of a new red zone drill here. Oh, yeah. Good move by Lazard. That guy just missed him. Now, maybe if it was a real game, he would have tackled him. I don't know. Seems like he kind of just gave up with the play, whoever that is on the Giants. Yeah, I think if it was a real game, he would have tackled him. Rodgers incomplete to Gibson in the end zone. Xavier Gibson's getting red zone targets. He's like 5'8". Incomplete. All right, here we go. Rodgers with a gorgeous throw. Threads 2 Giant defenders for a touchdown throw to Brees. I have never seen this from a Jets quarterback in my life, says Nate. All right. How good is this throw then? Also, Brees catching 85 passes this year is going to happen. What we got here? We got Thibodeau trying to get in Rodgers' face after he cooked him. Good ball. Brees. Crowd chanting Brees. He dapped him up. He didn't get in his face. Good pocket. Ball out. Brees open. Touchdown. I like it. Tyron Smith out there with the first team, getting his preseason reps, essentially. All right, we'll check back in with Nate, parentheses Nate, as we get more updates. Hit the like button if you're tuning in live right now. Let's get to more of your calls. But first, ladies and gentlemen, we have to thank Felix Campos for providing a 10 spot. Let's go, baby. 10 memberships. We've added 31 during this show. Folks, it's a steak dinner now here in Vegas. Chris Bragian, LJ Statues, Yoshi Rubin, Raider Mac, Kel A, Ton Hoagie, Jet Life since 96, Sean Bennett, Peter, the great Peter, who's been at the event at T-Squared last week and the one at Don Jose the week before, and Jeff C., all receiving channel memberships. Let's go. Let's go. And I can tell you, all super chats and channel memberships go to the Jake Asman Gambling on the Jets to Win the Super Bowl Fund and the Steak Dinner Fund. Napoleon writes in, James Napoleon, do you have a fear of Rodgers going in a year later on the road against the Niners with no game reps? So I thought Rodgers would want to play in the preseason for that exact reason, James. But my stance has always been I do what he wants. Like, he knows his body. He's in year 20 in the league. If he thinks he doesn't need the preseason, he's ready, then I'm not going to question it. You know, I'm not one of the 5 best quarterbacks ever. So I defer to Aaron on that. All right, we'll get back to the highlights from camp in a moment, but let's check in with one of our favorites. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello to Jerome, the Packer fan. Hello, Jerome.
What's going on, Jake? How you doing, man? I see you enjoy watching what's going on in camp there, man. I'm listening to your analysis. If Breece Hall doesn't win the Offensive Player of the Year, I don't know what we're doing. Breece Hall is going to have so many touches and so many catches. It kind of reminds me of Peyton Manning and Terrell Davis. That's the kind of dynamic that I see that's playing out here with the Jets. Rodgers won't have to do as much.
You mean John Elway?
Yeah. No, Peyton Manning. Peyton and Peyton had that defense, but no, you're right. John Elway and Terrell Davis. I see that.
Falk.
Right. I got it kind of twisted, but yeah, I see that kind of dynamic playing out though. And the Brownlee, I need him to make that team. I told you before I liked it Brownlee. He just the eyeball test tells you that he needs to make that team. He has all the intangibles. It's a big body. He can be put to use down there in that red zone. So I need Brownlee to make that team. And Aaron Rodgers, it's gonna be a lovely season for you guys. Something I always wanted to tell you guys. Rodgers is gonna work with the guys as far as being, you don't have to worry about Saleh and his play calling and being disciplined and whatnot. Rodgers will have those guys disciplined. As a Packer fan, we prided ourselves on not having penalties, a whole lot of penalties, and just playing disciplined ball. So that's gonna be another thing that's key for you Jet fans, and that's what Rodgers play a role in as well. He knows how to play disciplined ball. But right now, I like what I'm seeing, man. I like what I'm seeing. We're going to get to this 14-3 by hook and crook, man. 14-3, man. 14-3.
Jerome, if the Jets go 14-3, all right, you will come
Ain't
on
got no reason.
the day after they go 14-3, and you will co-host
Right.
the episode with me, all right?
Yes, I will. And if somehow they mess up the 14-3, I'm going to be a little deflated. But I'm going to still come on here and be talking about 12 and 4. I'm going to be talking about 13-4. So, I'm riding high on the Jets, man. I'm real high on the Jets. I'm real high on the Jets, man.
All right. I think everyone, how many people we got in here? We got 300 people watching right now, thousands
Right.
after the fact. I think
Right.
it's time for 4.
Right. Packers and Jets, man, for the Super Bowl. I'm not going to be mad. I'm Packers first. I would want my Packers to win, but I wouldn't be upset if the Jets took it, though. I wouldn't be upset if the Jets took it. I heard Dre say something before, man. I mean, I'm partial to my Packers, but I kind of do want to see Rodgers get this other one. So, if it plays out that way, I'll be down there celebrating with you guys, man. But let's do this, man. Y'all got everything in front of y'all, man. There's no reason why y'all can't be 14-3. That's what I got for you.
Jerome, from your lips to God's ears. We love it. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan checks in with an Asmaniac super chat. He's thanking M. King for his membership. Ryan, appreciate you, man. Thank you to M. King. Thank you to Felix. They've gifted a bunch of memberships. King and Dreams. Appreciate you guys supporting the show. Rat Diddy. I'm going to see Rat Diddy on Friday. He's coming out to Vegas. He says, grab an old fashioned with that steak at Barry's on me. See you Friday. Let's go, Rat. That's in town because he's signing up for the contest, man. This guy is ready. He might sign up for both contests knowing Rat. Crazy. Crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Ace is in the house. He says, work has been a pain in my balls today. Forgive my tardiness. Tom, I thought you were starting to big time us after you won the Garrett Wilson signed football at the party on Saturday. Good to see you're still here. All right, folks, I got some bad news. Allen Lazard just dropped a surefire touchdown, so let's watch it. This is what infuriates you about Lazard. He has a good camp, and then he just has these brutal drops randomly. Here we go. Should have been a touchdown in the red zone. Let's see. Courtesy of Nate, parentheses Nate. Let's watch the play. Oh, that's not the play. It's the play after this. Hold on. Stand by. Internet a little slow here. Oh, yikes. Holy Nate Mugg. There it is. Lazard drops a wide open touchdown from Rodgers. Let's see. They're playing Still Dre at practice. You guys can't hear it because it's on my second monitor. Allen, catch the ball. Look at this throw. Wide open. Jesus Christ, Lazard. Let's watch Rodgers' body reaction to this. Body language. Braylon Allen. Notice where he is. Oh, my God. Hey, Rodgers like skipping. Like, come on, man. Reese not in on this play. You got Garrett in the slot, which we will see a lot. Gibson on the outside. Are they running the pick play? Let's see what their routes were. Yeah, they did. They ran this play in the 2-point conversion. So Lazard had an easy touchdown. Garrett's open here too. Watch, 82-5. They run the pick play. 5's open. And Rodgers is like, he's open, but so is 10. Garrett's open right there. They had 2 guys wide open. So, I mean, Hackett had a good play there, whoever called that one. Maybe it was Rodgers. They had 2 guys open in the red zone. Yeah, I mean, what more do you want? Open phone lines for anyone who wants in. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Ask me anything here. It is 11 a.m. Vegas time. It is 2 p.m. Eastern. We're monitoring practice in real time. We'll be live with Fialco in the late afternoon to break down everything that is going on with the Jets, get his thoughts on today's joint practice today as well. Obviously, we can't see the defense from this because the defense is on the other field. But we have a new drive here. Rodgers and the Jets are starting at the 30-yard line. So we will watch it all together. Are you ready, kids? Aye, aye, Captain. Here we go. Looks like we have a Garrett Wilson touchdown here. Let's see. This is the first play of the drive. What happened? Play action. Rodgers. All day to throw. Garrett's wide open. There we go. How did Garrett get so open here? They just forget about the best player on the field? Hold on. What was the route? Hey, he's underneath right here. Just ran through like a soft spot in the zone. This wasn't his route, though. Garrett, see, they got no pass rush on Aaron, so Aaron basically bought time by rolling out to his right, and then Garrett just found a soft spot, and they knew exactly where to go. Look at this. I mean, you can't be more wide open. This is a touchdown in the regular season game. There it is. Giants might suck, I'm afraid. Neil checks in with a super chat. I expect to co-host at least once a week, right up to the Super Bowl week, live from New Orleans, Harrah's Hotel and Casino, LFG. Neil, if the Jets go 17-0, you can co-host every day with me. We'll rename the show the Jake and Neil Show. Braylon Allen gets a few on the ground. Incoming third down. Let's watch the Rook. Stand by. I'm going to try and get an update on the defense now, because I know there's some reporters that are on that side of the field, so stand by. Let me see. Let me get some updates here from the people. Fun matchup between Brian Burns and Tyron Smith. Thibodeau switched to the other side this drive. Burns speed giving him trouble, but been pretty evenly matched. What else do I got here? I think Connor Hughes is on the defense side. Giants offense. Let's see. This was from 9 minutes ago. Daniel Jones has thrown to Malik Neighbors 4 times in 3 periods of practice so far. Neighbors has 2 catches. Pass breakup by Eccles on deep short. Ball thrown at Neighbors' feet with Reed in coverage. Completion over the middle, 15-plus yard gain. Gardner in coverage. Short over the middle on PA rollout. Reed in coverage. That's like the only update I have on the defense here. Let's see. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets offense versus Giants secondary has not exactly been fair fight in joint practice so far. All right. Well, I like to hear that. Feels like everyone's just watching Rodgers, though. No one's watching Daniel Jones. So make of that what you will. Let's see. Hit the like button. I see Tom A says Samini, Rodgers to Wilson, 70 yards. I think we just watched that play, though. Unless this was another play. Let's see. No, that was the play we saw already. Nate is giving us Rodgers to Lazard over the middle on 3rd down. Let's watch that. All together, kids. Here we go, class. I wish Mike Williams was out there next week, though. There we go. Rodgers, 3rd down. Can he make a play? He's got Lazard, who caught it for once. Beautiful. Olu not practicing today, dealing with a minor strain, Saleh said. So you can see 74 on the right, on the sideline, not in there. Let's see. What was his route? He just ran like a little drag route? Yeah. Oh, they ran a little pick. You see that? Conklin set a pick on whoever that DB was. Yeah, this is good stuff right here. Good stuff. Rodgers incomplete to Davis out of the backfield. Let's see. Watch this. Just mistimed it. I got good music today at practice. You guys can't hear it, but I can. Let's see. It's more plays here from our man Nate, parentheses Nate. We'll skip the Tyrod play. He says, try back shoulder to Brownlee, pass interference. Oh, great blitz pickup. Rodgers finds Garrett over the middle. Folks, this might be not safe for work, all right? So, sorry. All right, change your underwear, you sickos. Here we go. Oh, there it is. Who picked up the blitz? Let's see. Oh, big blitz pickup. Is that Brees? Brees getting down. What? Look at this blitz pickup by Brees here. Look at this. Boom. Who is that? Was that Burns? Who would just hit Brees like that? Man, Brees was ready for that. He was a wall. You think Brees is doing that if Zach Wilson's at quarterback last year? No chance. Love that. Look at it. Look at the block here by Brees, putting the body on the line. I hear Jay Quest in the background going, nice pickup, baby. Let's go. You guys can't hear that. I can. Brees Hall on the ground for a good game. Here we go. Good cut. Good cut. All right. I like what we're seeing so far, folks. Hit the like button. Super chats, cut the line. Channel memberships always get acknowledged. Also, kid, down in front there. What are you doing? Delvis writes in. Delvis, 13-4 this year. Tell me why not. I'm not going to tell you why not. I got 12-5. You want to go 13-4? Sign me up. Sign me up. James says, I finally figured out how to turn on gift receipts. Well, it's your lucky day because we've had a lot of gift receipts. All right, last chance to get in here. We're going to end the show because we're going to come back and recap the rest of practice with Fialco in just a little bit. Still giving you guys fresh off my plane ride to Vegas. 90-minute show. Plus, on the channel this morning, I released a Herm Edwards interview I did from about a week and a half ago when I was on ESPN, and I made the best of the Jake Asman Show episode 6 after a week of it being up for just channel members, available for the general public. So you got plenty of content on the feed today. Plus, we'll have Fialco this afternoon for more on today's joint practices, which should be a blast. Let me make sure I'm not missing any highlights here, though. Connor Hughes with an update on the defense. Was hoping for Sauce Malik Neighbors action. Hasn't really happened. Daniel Jones has thrown one pass beyond 10 yards. Daniel Jones stinks. Can we all acknowledge that? Like, he's not good. I'm sorry. Ryan in the chat, if we stay healthy, 13-4, maybe even better. I mean, it all depends on the version of Aaron you're getting. If he plays like a top 10 quarterback with this roster, yeah, they could go 13-4. I mean, they're stacked. Health is the biggest thing. I mean, we all understand it. All right, here we go. More plays to get into here from Nate. Rodgers zips a ball by defender's ear, complete to Ruckert. Let's watch this together, kids. Stand by. Here we go. The pride of Long Island. Nice catch by Ruck. Good job. See, he's going to be a weapon, man. Just run the seam route. Rodgers will throw to tight ends. Rucker was a really good athlete at Ohio State. Let he clear concussion protocol. One more time. Nice job. Yeboah lined up at fullback. No gain for Isaiah Davis. Is this the same drive with Rodgers? Let's see. It is. Yeboah in the H-back roll. Rodgers snaps, immediately hits Xavier Gibson for a first. Dude, Gibson and Rodgers have something cooking, man. All together now, kids. Down in front, asshole. Sorry. Nice play. Just so quick, man. I don't care what your offensive line looks like here. Ball's getting out fast. 1, 2. Ball's out. One, two. Ball's out. Nate writes in, nobody tells Snowball the first 5 minutes of today's practice was better than the entirety of practice yesterday. Poor Snowball. Dude went to yesterday's practice from Long Island. Didn't get to see Rodgers, Mosley. They basically had a veterans rest day yesterday. And then today you're getting 75 plays of the first team offense. Rodgers snaps immediately, hits Gibson for. Didn't we just do this? Yeah, we did. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to thank Nate for his service, follow him on Twitter. And you can marvel at his handsomeness when he reffed a basketball game of some sorts, it appears, at the Barclays Center. Look at this guy. Look at this handsome man. All right, more calls before we wrap, unless Nate has something good for us. We'll go to Thomas, who's up.
Hey, Jake, how you doing? I'm having trouble hearing you.
You look like you have a great view, though, behind you.
Yeah, I'm at the beach right now. I'm listening from the beach. I'm down in Wildwood on vacation. So now I hear you. The reason I was calling, I was hearing you talking about the receivers and the possibilities who's going to make the team. With Bradley's going to make the team, and I agree that he should make the team. Another guy who obviously isn't going to make the team, but he's been kind of impressive in the preseason is Brandon Smith. I've been watching him. I've been to both of the preseason games, and he's made some big plays. I'm wondering about him. I'm hoping he'll make the practice squad at least, and nobody's going to snatch him up. I'd like to see him play against better competition. Maybe start the game and, play against some second stringers rather than some third or fourth stringers. The Jets, over the recent years, they brought in a few hitting gems, guys that nobody really knew of. Guys like Gibson, guys like Brownlee, and, ended up having some production. So I wonder about Brandon Smith, if there's any chance for him. I'm hoping I'll make the practice squad and won't get snatched up by some other team. So I was just wondering what you think about that.
Thomas, enjoy the beach, man. Audio a little choppy, but we got your point. I think he's a practice squad guy if he's around. But I mean, maybe there's something there. You never know. That's the bottom line. Yeah, I wouldn't expect much from him, though, to be honest with you. I think the Jets have 5 receivers locked in. I think it's a matter of, are they going Gibson or Or are they going, Gibson's on the team. Are they going Brownlee or Charles? Or if they keep 7, they're keeping both. I think that's what it comes down to. That's it. Robert C. says, Jake, did you see Gator's new Bobby Bunch clip? Robert, did you see this show earlier or the open for yesterday's show? Yes, I saw it. We played it. Bobby called in today. Tom wants to know, did Circa hook Jake up with the penthouse villa suite? They did not, but they did give me a very nice suite, though. Or a very nice room, I would say. We got the king-size bed. I would show you guys the view, but let me see what I can do to show it off here without ruining the stream. I got so much plugged in here. The camera would go if I unplug that. What if I unplug this? It's not worth it. You just got to take my word for it that over here, down there is Stadium Swim. greatest outdoor sports book that's ever been. It's a very nice hotel. There's plenty of great things happening. Has a little TV. Just realized I'm not wearing a headset mic, so I don't know if any of you guys heard what I was saying there. Ugh. They call this the Asmaniac Suite, though, according to Snowball. The pool view is amazing, though. But you should see how high up it is. I took a picture on my phone. I could show that. Hold on. This is how high up I am. Yeah, the glare is brutal. You guys hear me now? I know that it says audio mostly, but I'm now in front of the mic again, so you should be able to hear me. Anyway. Let me see if I have anything else from Nate before we wrap here. We're going to be back with Fialco. We'll show you more highlights later. Let's see. Also, Bo Nix named starting quarterback of the Broncos. Remember when Wilson Truther said Zach Wilson was going to win that job? Not going to happen. Now, the question for Zach is, does he make the team or does he get cut like I predicted he will? Because I think Stidham will beat him out, but we'll see. Let's see. Samini did note on that Gibson play that we showed that it looks like Rodgers made an adjustment at the line. Then he hit Gibson on a quick hitter. Rodgers and Saleh fist bump after the play. I'm telling you, Saleh, as we talked about at the top, way more involved in the offense. Way more involved. Anyway, good stuff. We'll be back with Fialco in the afternoon. I'm amazed I'm awake right now to give this 90-minute show, but I appreciate the support from everyone. We will be back at it in just a bit, basically, because we started late today because of my travel. So thank you all for your support. Please hit the like button before you go. If you're a Jet fan who hasn't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It goes a long way towards us continuing to grow. Once again, I want to thank everyone out there for their incredible support. My name is Jake Asman. We're back with Fialco around 4:35, let's say. So be on the lookout for that. Turn on notifications when we go live. Or just join the Patreon, and I notify everyone in the Discord channel that you gain access to when we go live each and every day. Expect a lot of content over the next couple of days. We'll have some big interviews tomorrow and Friday as I'm live in Vegas ahead of Circa's contest weekend. Once again, thanks to Circa for making this all happen. Circasports.com for all the information on how to be a part of their two incredible football contests. Thank you all again for your support. My name is Jake Asman. Zach Wilson stinks, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good one, everybody.
Stop. What's up, Jake? You're embarrassing yourself.
Oh, shit. Stop. Let me ask you something, ass man. What do you think of Zach Wilson?
He stinks.
Thank God he's done. He never scores no fucking touchdown.
He stinks.
The second pick for number 2 destroyed the Jets' cause.
He stinks.
Asmaniacs kick so much ass, but some of them, they kill the vibe and make the show a freaking mess. So Jake reminds them.
He stinks.
When Alan calls, he speaks the hate. That cartoon douche, he trashed the Jets. Let Bobby know, cause he's the man who will remind him.
He stinks.
Another call comes from the car. Distorted voice and no Wi-Fi. That's JJ with crap ass phone. Just cut him off the call.
He stinks.
Is that gas station pizza? Come on, Gary.
He stinks.
Chicken don't go with pasta. Just get out of here, Jake.
The guy is terrible. Enough.
Yo, check it out, Jet fans. Asmaniacs, unite. They got 60 seconds to rap for Jake. The Jets are winning the chip. There is no debate. The callers on the show are absolutely the best. Let's see if these green bars can pass the test. You got Bobby Midnight hooking up B-Mac. Allen, there's no fires to put out on this track. I just hope it doesn't go down south. Maybe we'll find out they hooked up on Chief Band's couch. It's the Jake Asman Show. You'll already know what to do. Smash the like button like Bonesy sells shoes. Neil is shirtless, smoking on a cigar, while Harvey is jamming on a brand new guitar. Knoble is the prodigy to future MVP. He can sleep as much as the men on TV. Scott is chasing ducks and calling them ladies, while Gary wishes he birthed Brock Bowers Davies. Purple Belt Mike is out. One last mission. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets will guillotine the league. Submission.